Day 15 Word of God Luke chapter 17 verse 16, and fell down on his face at his feet, giving him thanks. And he was a Samaritan. Luke chapter 17 verse 16 is part of the story of the 10 lepers that Jesus heals as he travels along the border between Samaria and Galilee. In this account, 10 men with leprosy meet Jesus and cry out to him for mercy. Jesus instructs them to go and show themselves to the priests, which was the custom for being declared clean according to the law of Moses. Leviticus chapter 14 verse 232. As they obey and head to the priests, they are miraculously healed. However, only one of them, a Samaritan, returns to Jesus to give thanks, falling on his face at Jesus' feet in gratitude. This verse emphasizes both the man's humble act of thanksgiving and his status as a Samaritan, which carries significant meaning in the context of Jewish-Samaritan relations of the time. And fell down on his face at his feet describes an act of deep humility, worship, and gratitude. This man, recognizing the miracle of his healing, returns to Jesus and falls down at his feet, a position of reverence and submission. Falling on one's face was a common gesture of worship, acknowledging Jesus' divine authority and expressing profound gratitude. It demonstrates that this man, unlike the others, understood the source of his healing and chose to honor Jesus for it. Giving him thanks indicates that the man's response to his healing is marked by genuine gratitude. While all 10 lepers were healed, only this one man returns to thank Jesus, highlighting the importance of recognizing and expressing gratitude for God's blessings. This moment reflects a heart that is not only physically healed but also spiritually awakened to the reality of who Jesus is. And he was a Samaritan, adds a layer of significance to this event. Samaritans were generally despised by Jews due to long-standing ethnic and religious differences. By noting that the one who returned was a Samaritan, Luke highlights a powerful contrast. The least likely person, an outsider and a foreigner in the Jewish community, is the only one who comes back to express gratitude. This detail underscores the unexpected nature of God's grace and mercy, showing that God's blessings are available to all, regardless of background, and that true faith can be found in unexpected places. In 2 Kings chapter 5, Naaman, a Syrian commander afflicted with leprosy, follows the instructions of the prophet Elisha and is healed in the Jordan River. Like the Samaritan leper, Naaman returns to Elisha to express his gratitude and acknowledge the power of the God of Israel, demonstrating that God's grace extends beyond the boundaries of Israel. Ruth, a Moabite, expresses deep gratitude and loyalty to her mother-in-law Naomi and to the God of Israel, choosing to embrace the God of Israel as her own. Her story reflects how those outside of Israel can display remarkable faith and receive God's blessings. Ruth chapter 1 verse 16-17. In Luke chapter 10 verse 25-37, Jesus tells the parable of a Samaritan who helps a man beaten by robbers while others pass by. This parable also highlights the unexpected nature of mercy and goodness coming from a Samaritan, reinforcing that God's love and compassion can be demonstrated by anyone, regardless of their background. In John chapter 4, Jesus speaks with a Samaritan woman at the well, revealing his identity as the Messiah and offering her living water. The woman's faith and response to Jesus lead to many Samaritans believing in him, showing that God's grace and salvation extend to all who believe, regardless of their ethnicity or status. For believers today, Luke chapter 17 verse 16 serves as a reminder of the importance of gratitude in our relationship with God. It challenges us to respond to God's blessings with sincere thanksgiving, recognizing that every good thing in our lives is a gift from him. This verse encourages us not to take God's grace and mercy for granted but to actively return thanks to him for all he has done. This verse also invites us to reflect on the nature of faith and inclusion. The Samaritan's act of gratitude demonstrates that God's grace is available to all people, regardless of their background or social status. It reminds us that God looks at the heart, and true faith can be found in unexpected places. Ultimately, this verse encourages us to live with a spirit of thankfulness, humility, and openness to all people, recognizing that God's love and mercy transcend all human barriers. God bless you and give you grace after grace.